What's going on, y'all? Jordan, another episode of Lightning Latest. Really excited for today's episode because we're going to be diving even further into the second offensive line, as well as talking about Connor Geeky's potential, a potential Bolt Race collab, which I'm really excited to dive in a little more with you guys with as well, and of course the classic what if at the end. So let's take a look at the second line first, though, right? Hagel left wing, Sorelli at center, Bjorkstrand at right wing. That's how it's looking right now. Remember though, Hagel had 90 points last year, right? I'm thinking he's gonna go over 100 this year. I really foresee that happening. Actually, foresee the Bolts having 400-point scorers this year, but we'll talk about that as we get closer to the season. It's really intriguing because he could at some point go to the first line and overtake Gunsel, but I think for now, Hagel will at least be on the second line. If he takes that next step towards superstardom, though, who knows? Who knows? We also know Sorelli, one of the best defensive centers in all of hockey. Definitely could mount a Selke campaign. Who knows? We'll discuss that as well over the next few weeks. There's just a lot going on for the Bolts right now because we're so close to training camp. And he's one of those players I'm really looking forward to watching and seeing just how much he's going to progress this year. Because Sorelli can increase his offensive output even more. It's only going to help us, right? Because we talked about the more scoring we get, the better off we'll be come April, May, June, right? Sorelli can do more offensively this year, in addition to his usual defensive duties that he pulls. I'd be just fine with that. Bjorkstrand is entering his first full year with the Bolts. So remember, we got him at the trade deadline last year for the Kraken, along with bringing back Yanni. So he's going to be UFA next summer. Really intrigued to see how this offseason's gone, how training camp will go for him, because he's still being integrated into this setup, right? But after he came over, he played pretty well. And if he can continue that trend, offensively, I think we're going to be okay, at least on this line. We're going to talk about the third and fourth lines over the next couple days. They need to be improved upon still. But second line, I really like how we're looking. Even if Hagel and Gunsel switch, that's still great. And you'd love to see maybe a Gage Concalvis take his next step up and maybe supplant Bjorkstrand on the right wing. Who knows, right? Sorelli too. Nick Paul offers a little bit more offensive versatility, so I still don't think they'd move Sorelli. Sorelli's just too good at what he does. So, but we're gonna go down a couple lines real quick. We're gonna talk about Connor Geeky for a minute. So Connor Geeky, he's been ranked as the top prospect by the Athletic. Well, the Bolts' top prospect. The Athletic's Corey Prodman, he classifies him as like a bubble top line, middle of the lineup player. So like a second or third line contributor, potential first liner, right? And that's what we're looking for. That's what we want, right? We want those next wave of contributors to take a step up and improve. A lot of young players on this roster this year that could do that. Geeky is one that pretty much everyone is looking forward to seeing play. If he can continue the progression he's shown, we're gonna have a gem in our hands. Prodman only rates one of his skills as below NHL average, which is his skating. For an offensive player, you would like a little better skating, but that's great. We have plenty of people that can help him with that on the staff, and he's still really young at 20 years old, right? He performed well when we sent him back to the AHL for a while. It's like he knew he didn't need to be there, so he just turned it on. And that coming back after that really helped him take a next step forward. All of his other skills are seen as at least average, but he's particularly above average according to Prodman in puck skills and shooting. I mean, for an offensive contributor, that's what you want, right? You want someone that's going to really nail the puck on the head from anywhere. If he can shoot and he can score from anywhere, that's what you want. I have very high hopes for Geeky. I think he's going to be a stud. This year, I think he really takes that next step and becomes even better. I could even see him getting to the third line, which we'll talk about tomorrow. He's a big forward, big winger, big center, right? 6'4". He has an excellent shot and even better puck handling. He really could carve out his long-term role starting this year. I can see it happening, especially because he's playing alongside veterans that know the game really well. So, we'll see what happens, because I'd like to see him really tear it up, especially in the Stadium Series, which, as y'all know, the Rays have been taken over by new ownership starting this month. A new stadium is one of the top priorities for them. Possible sites include Ybor City, the HCC campus, London Mabry, others as well. The Rays are going to play the Trop for the next couple of years, but they will have a new permanent home hopefully within the next 5 years over here in Tampa. So it's really dependent on how Ray J hosts Stadium Series this year, right? If it does well, will the NHL want to bring it back? And I think it's definitely a twist on this Classic Stadium Series, because, you know, it's going to be here and then the Winter Classic is going to be down in Miami. So it's like kind of funny, because it's, you know, like we could get unseasonably warmer weather at that time and it could work out, you know. So my wedding was like that. We got, I guess, seasonally warm weather in middle of February. So it's possible, but I think it's going to be all right. I think fans are going to have a lot of fun going to a Stadium Series at Raymond James Stadium. It's the home of the Bucks. Hopefully they can find a way to incorporate the pirate ship and everything too. That'd be awesome. But if we could get a Stadium Series hosted at the new Rays Stadium, or better yet, if somehow in the next few years we get a Winter Classic hosted there, I think that'd be tremendous, because, you know, we're looking for additional streams of revenue, right? And these big events bring money to the city, and they really help the Rays, and they really help the Bolts, obviously, too. Furthermore, you know, we know the Bolts are big into philanthropy, and they really like giving back. The money from this would certainly help with that. So, man, a Stadium Series at a new Rays Stadium, that would be fun. A Winter Classic there would be even better, though. Let me know what you guys think. I'm really, really interested to hear your thoughts on that. But, of course, now we're going to transition to our favorite part of the day. What if? Today we're going to talk about Luke Hughes, the defenseman from the New Jersey Devils. Now, he is a current restricted free agent, right? He hasn't signed a new deal with them at all. He's still looking for that real long-term opportunity. Is he going to get it? Well, Devils GM Tom Fitzgerald said a few weeks ago that they're working on it. They're thinking they're going to probably get it done during training camp, which is coming up. I hope that's the case. Let me clarify it. I would like for us to trade for him, but he will be expensive. We'll dive into that in a minute or two. But, you know, it's the quicker he works out the deal, the quicker we can see how feasible it would be to try to trade for him. If it's just a bridge deal for like 2 or 3 years, then okay, it's more possible. But reportedly, he wants a 5-year deal, because then he will go into free agency at the same time as his brother Jack, who also plays with him on the Devils as a center. He's almost 22. He's not even 22 yet. So a bridge deal of 2 to 3 years wouldn't even get him to his physical prime. Not even close. This would be an expensive addition to pursue, though. Right? We've discussed already that the Bolts farm system needs a bit more of a boost. It needs some more defensemen itself, some more goaltenders. It could really use more impact players. Geeky, as we'll talk about over the next few days, Geeky is only the only true like top tier talent, and even then he's like not true top tier. But I think he's going to play a great role for us over the next few years, if not longer. So, really excited for him. Hughes would be another piece that would be that next wave, right? Because he's not even 22. but I think he would be worth the high price tag. He's going to add to that next wave we've been discussing so much lately, because we all know hockey's a physical game. Not everyone doesn't play forever. So, I mean, the sooner we can identify those next wave of stars, the better it'll be. I think Luke Hughes will be that. I don't know if it would happen this year. I don't know if it happened in the summer. It would happen even 2027 deadline. It just depends on the deal he agrees with the Devils, if he does at all. Or it could be possible where Fitzgerald and the Devils front office just wipe their hands and say, okay, we're going to trade him. We don't want to deal with this. If that's the case, then Breeboy really needs to hop into it. Because, yes, we have limited farm depth, but over the next few days, these other players we're going to talk about, you'd agree that we could trade them to get Luke Hughes. So, tomorrow, more offensive line talk. It's going to be great. More prospect talk as well. A couple other fun bits. This is Jordan Llanes signing off. We'll see you guys tomorrow.